There comes a time where some lazy ass slob gets involved in a bit of a mystery case. And unfortunately, it's not the dude's day.
The Review Warrior.
So, The Big Lebowski was directed by Joel Coen and it stars Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, Julianne Moore, David Huddleston, Flea, Philip Seymour Hoffman, John Turturro, and Sam Elliott. When the dude Lebowski is mistaken for a millionaire Lebowski, two thugs urinate on his rug to coerce him into paying a debt he knows nothing about. So, we've all seen The Big Lebowski. It's considered a classic among a lot of fans. And when it first came out back in 1998, it didn't really get as many good reviews as it does now. But as the years have gone on, it has become a bit of a cult classic, sprouting many adverts, advert parodies and cartoons, and even a book. Yep, I'm a Lebowski, you're a Lebowski. There's even a book, which, if you ask me, is pretty damn cool. In relation to that book, there's also a religion called Dudeism, if you can believe it. And like I said, in the book, Deuteronomy, Dudeism, there's stuff about drinking White Russians in this film, which is what the dude drinks in the film. It also goes through all the characters, like, obviously the dude, played by Jeff Bridges, Walter, played by John Goodman, Donnie, which is quite a funny picture, because it's just like a little Folgers tub that they put him in at the end. Spoiler alert. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, The Big Lebowski is one of my favourite films of all time. It's up there with Titanic, The Matrix, Toy Story. It's just one of those films where not much happens. It doesn't go anywhere, but in the best possible way. Which is something that the Coen Brothers are so good at doing. And obviously we're going to talk about the characters. First I'm going to talk about Jeff Bridges as the dude, aka Jeffrey Lebowski. But most people know him as the dude. He is one of the laziest characters I've ever seen in any film. And Jeff Bridges just does it so freaking well. When he plays the dude, he dissolves right into the character. Which I do love that about Jeff Bridges. You can't even tell that it's Jeff Bridges, man. I mean, yeah, he has no makeup on, but when he plays the dude, Jeff Bridges disappears. It's like Jeff Bridges isn't even there. The dude is there, and the dude abides. Going to the other characters I like Steve Buscemi as Donnie. I like Julianne Moore as Maud Lebowski. I loved everyone in this film. But there's one actor that I found hilarious in this film. And that's John Goodman as Walter. He chews the scenery in every scene he's in. Walter's like this Vietnam vet who, every time he's losing an argument, he always brings up his old PTSD, his old trauma from the wars, which I find funny. It's like whenever he's losing an argument, like when the dude asked about the toe and Walter just shouts, "Forget the fucking toe!" And every time he tells Donnie to shut the fuck up, it's just absolutely hilarious. Like when Donnie's saying, "I'm the walrus," because he thinks that John Lennon said it. Walter goes, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie. D.I. Lennon. Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov." Like, yeah, it's quite funny. And there's another character that I won't lie, I almost forgot to mention, and that is John Turturro as the Jesus, as he calls himself. He's not in the film very long, but when he is hilarious. I mean, he goes, "You know something, pendejo? Nobody F's with the Jesus." Obviously, I can't say the word. I've already said it 3 times. I can't say it again. "Nobody F's with the Jesus, pendejo." I think we could have done with a little bit more of the Jesus, because he was quite funny when he was on screen. 8-year-olds, dude. And in this film, we do have some weird sequences, including when when the dude gets knocked out, he's kind of like flying on this magic carpet. You know, you see bowling pins flying past him. It is funny. I love how the Coen Brothers just wrote the script to make it all weird and wonderful. And speaking of sequences, there's one sequence that I love in particular, and that's the opening credit sequence. You know, after the dude got beat up in his home because the nihilists think that he's the Big Lebowski, and when he's not. Also, before I go into that bit, there is a joke. When one of them finds the bowling ball, he goes, "What the hell is this? Obviously, you're not a golfer." That's another thing as well. Like, the Coen Brothers just write so many funny lines in this film. They're so hilarious. They're so memorable. It's like when Donnie says, "They posted the break for the tournament." Donnie, shut the fuck. When do we play? Like, the Coen Brothers can't do any wrong when it comes to writing funny lines like that. I have seen as well. There's a bit of a edited version, the censored version of the Big Lebowski, where you know, in the scene where John Goodman bashes the car and says, "This is what happens when you're a stranger in the ass." In the censored version, he goes, "This is what happens when you fight a stranger in the Alps." That always makes me laugh. I've seen it on YouTube. It's hilarious. It's just as funny as Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon in Die Hard 2. So many funny edits that you see in films. Well, at least back in the 90s anyway. And there's one more thing I want to mention before I go into my gripes. Not that there's any. And that's the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman. There is a scene about earlier on in the film where the dude makes like this wisecrack, and this is how Philip Seymour Hoffman reacts. It's just the funniest face. He's just like, "Yeah, you're a douche." As far as gripes go, I don't see any. This is a perfect film. This is exactly the type of film that you'd expect to get a cult following. And this film, every time, well, when I used to go bowling, I always used to think of myself as the dude, you know. I mean, hell, you see in my thumbnail, this is my bowling ball. This is what I use. It's a bit tattered up, I know. I haven't been bowling in a couple of months, but one of these days, I was even gonna go to my local bowling alley and have a game so I could just film the intro. I would have loved to have done that. But in the end, The Big Lebowski is brilliance from the 90s. I mean, you can see why it sprouted such an impactful cultural status. I mean, hell, like I said before, Dudeism, the book. I also love the acting in the film, the directing, everything's perfect in this film. With that being said, I'm going to give The Big Lebowski an A+. So, The Big Lebowski, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what is your favourite Coen Brothers film? Whether it's this, Fargo, Barton Fink, even Hail Caesar. Comment below, let me know what it is. As you saw in the intro as well, I'm going to bring back my old classic movie reviews. You know, like I did when I first started with the AI voice. I used to do something called retro reviews, but that didn't really work out as best as I thought it could. But I'm bringing it back. I'm going to call it classic reviews, and I'm so happy that The Big Lebowski was the first one. So I've been the Review Warrior. Thank you so much for watching and checking out this video. Make sure you comment, subscribe. Let me know what classic films you want me to review. And Carl, before you say it, I know you're going to say The Greasy Strangler. I'll get around to it. But anyway, I'm going to go. I shall see you all in the next review. Toodle pip. And in the words of the dude abides.
Thanks for watching the review. Any recommendations, just comment below and let me know. Remember to like and subscribe.